Hey guys, it's Chris here with another episode of the Brothers Boyd. I've got Josh and Daniel standing by over there. If you look to your left or right, I'm not sure how we're positioned on the screen. Uh, we're going to do an episode called Hot Reads of the Week, and we're going to talk about one book that we've read this week, and just kind of give you a short little review, and hopefully it'll convince you to maybe run over to your local comic shop and pick that book up and read it. So I'm going to go first, and you know, my hot read of the week this week is going to be Batman number 125. And this is a really special book. We're changing writers, we're changing artists. And one of my favorite comic book writers is taking over Batman. His name is Chip Zdarsky. If you're familiar with comics, he's been writing Daredevil for quite a while now. He also wrote Spider-Man Life Story, and just the thought of him coming in and writing a Batman comic has just really excited me. And having a regular run. He's also writing a book called Batman the Night right now, which is a maxi series, which I'm reading. And that is basically telling us the story of what Bruce Wayne did when he left as a probably 19 or 20-year-old, and how he trained and who he trained with to become Batman. But let's go ahead and talk about issue 125 right off the bat. The cover is just amazing. The A cover, which is the one I got, is a beautiful cover, mixture of darks and lights, and there's some yellow in there because we get to see Robin kind of in the middle of Batman's chest in the picture. And the Robin that we're dealing with in this particular story is going to be the Tim Drake Robin, which is really cool because I haven't read a lot of stories about Tim Drake, so I think that's going to be really fun to read. Artwork is phenomenal. George is a great artist. I've been following him on Instagram. You should jump up there and follow him too. Does some great work. Just a beautifully done comic. Just even when you see like Bruce Wayne and Selena Kyle interacting at the beginning of the book, there's some beautiful artwork done there. Um, I just can't begin to tell you how much I enjoyed this story. I've been reading Batman for the past 2 years, and even though it's been a great story, it kind of started to feel stale. But being a Batman fan, I would say this book really invigorated my desire for Batman comics, and just excited about what's coming. So we kind of get just a little bit of the story. We kind of get Bruce Wayne kind of looking back at some things that have gone on in his life, and basically saying, well, I guess it's time to move on. And the story kind of opens with Selena kind of telling him, I've heard that there's somebody going around kind of murdering all the wealthy people in Gotham. And so, of course, Batman being Batman, he's going to go investigate it. And we open up on basically a hostage situation, and we see Batman kind of handle the hostage. And when he gets inside the building, he sees that the couple who were in there were already dead, and we kind of learned that it was one of Bruce's friends, so he was really upset about that. But he kind of was leaning real heavy into the hostage taker and trying to find out who caused the death and who was going around doing it. So I kind of, don't want to tell you who it is because I would love for you guys to read it and get the same surprise that I got, because it was really a shock. And the thing that happens to Batman in this story and how it changes Batman going forward is really an eye-opening experience. Um, but again, it's such a beautiful comic. We'll share some pictures down here, and I really enjoyed reading this. I can't wait for the next issue to come out. I haven't been this excited about a storyline in a long time, so I hope that you enjoy it as much as I did. Daniel, I think you said you had picked this one up and haven't read it yet. And Josh, even though you're not a Batman fan, even though you buy every Batman toy there is, you still may you still may enjoy this comic. Really good. It's a really well written comic. So yeah, so Batman number 125. Run out to your comic shop and grab it before it disappears. I did hear this week that it's already going into a second print, so that's always a good thing. Whenever you have a book go into a second print, that means the demand is really high for it. But if you want to grab that first edition, first copy, you better run out and grab it now before they're all gone. Daniel, what are you reading this week that's got you excited?
Well, this week I'm about a month behind in going to the shop. I finally got to a shop last week for the first time in about a month. Picked up basically everything, but this week I actually read the Flash number 783. Um, it's by Jeremy Adams. I can never get this guy's name right. I know Williamson got me really reading the Flash, and I've just been really happy with the successor Adams. And the artist, I'm going to read this and I'm going to butcher it. I'm sorry in advance. I think you have a really good style for the Flash, so this is no disrespect. I did enjoy the artwork in this book, but your name, Amancay Nahuelpan, 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 I think is how you pronounce it. I probably butchered it. I'm sorry, but I tried here. But it reminds me of '90s Flash art style, so I really did enjoy your work. But this issue is really about what's going on with Wally and the rest of the speedsters during Dark Crisis, because Wally and everybody are not really around for the main meat and potatoes of the story at this point, at least. But they're actually going into the Speed Force to see if they can find Barry Allen, who's been missing since the end of Infinite Frontier in the Speed Force. He got pulled through with Darkseid, and now they're trying to find him and see if they can help with everything going on with the death of the Justice League. What really this story is basically setting up where everybody is looking for Barry in it, and they all come to a little bit of a certain points that kind of remind you of certain things, like Irie and Jabe, Wally's kids, actually get pulled into it. They seem to excel at getting in trouble, and I've noticed in this series, and they are getting. They got sucked in. They seem to be in the Back to the Future Part Two Nightmare Future of the Biff Tannen, but it's kind of like with Barry kind of being what Biff Tannen is basically.
We can do
Um,
this the easy way or the hard way.
you have Jay and I think Jay well, I don't know if it's Jay. We have a couple more speedsters who end up in the Mad Max world, and Wally and Wallace actually get sucked into a very very Silver Age style comic, even replenished with the dot coloring scheme and everything. But it's very much so in that style, and they each seem to find a different version of Barry in it. But I won't go much further into this, but it's a fun read and definitely fairly quick read too. But it definitely kind of sets things up and makes you really ready to happen. And if they can find Barry to get back to into the world and help with the dark crisis that is going on. Um, really enjoyed it. I definitely do think you should probably pick it up. The artwork is really well. Probably my favorite pieces are the double page spread of the Mad Max style, where they are all riding in and coming in into the scene. And you see Barry in like this Cadillac coming and stuff. It's really awesome. It's a really awesome spread, and hopefully Josh can find that and put it up for us to show everybody.
Yes.
But
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds
anyway,
like Wally's kids need to go find Gray's Sports Almanac and burn it.
that might not be a bad idea.
Ooh la la! Ooh la la! Cool, cool.
Hey, well, that's
Josh,
cool,
what are
Daniel.
you reading this week?
I'm excited to read that one. That's in my bag over here by the couch. Well, it's funny. You two guys, I'm the DC guy, and you both did a DC book. The book I'm talking about this week is an Image book. It's one I've looked at. It's actually probably a couple weeks old. I think issue 2 is getting ready to come out in about 2 weeks, but it's called Beware the Eye of Odin. And it's written by Doug Wagner, and the artist is Tom Odland, and colors are done by Michelle Madsen. Well, the cover of it really piqued my interest in the store when I saw it. It just looked pretty cool. The look of it looked kind of old school Norse mythology style storytelling. Well, the book opens up on a prince who has the Eye of Odin, and he realizes that all the stories his dad, the king, told him as a kid about Odin and Freya and Thor and the frost giants and all that stuff was true. And the Eye of Odin tells him that he must get rid of the eye before the new moon, and if he doesn't, he will die a death of boils and decay. He has to take the eye back to its rightful bearer, and the rightful bearer is the Frost Giants King. Well, it sets up a fantasy journey, almost a fellowship. And you've got, and I'm probably not pronouncing their names right, but Helgi is the prince. There is a former warrior named Steiger who is missing an arm, and he's a big burly guy. And then you have a young girl who wants to join them, and I'm looking back to find her name, Catelyn, and she believes she is a Valkyrie. So they set off on this adventure to go take the Eye of Odin back to its original bearer, who is the Frost Giant King. And along the way, they run into all these creatures. They get attacked by a boar as they're traveling through the forest. There are these small creatures, and I will post the image of that, because the image when they run into these little creatures, I think they called them the Hundra folk, is a throwback to almost a Perez style image, because there's hundreds of these little creatures, these little minuscule people on the page, and they're all highly detailed. And by the time they go to get the eye back, the trolls have come in and slaughtered the Hundra folk. So now they're on a quest to get that eye and get it back to its bearer. When I was reading this today, I was amazed at the story. I was amazed at the artwork. I thought it was really well done. So I did a little research and read up on the author and the writer and their interviews. This started off as a 40-page story. It was going to be a one-shot. And they said when they got done plotting it out, it turned into 162 pages. So it's been turned into a 4-issue miniseries. They said they plotted it sitting at a table at Taco Bell. So I'm like, well, if you did this sitting at a table at Taco Bell, I'd love to see some more of your work, because this is a great story. I really enjoyed it. The art was beautiful. I mean, it was just enough of almost, the Twig style story, this adventure, and the characters are kind of misfits. The prince is, he's the tyrant, but I have a feeling he'll become the lovable guy. The girl is kind of delusional, thinks she's a Valkyrie. She has feathered wings as a cape. And then you've got the old grizzled warrior missing the arm, and his weapon of choice, all of his swords broke. He takes a chain and welds it to an anvil, and he uses that as a weapon, slinging that around. One armed. So, I mean, cool. Really great story. Really well done.
Sounds like fun.
Yes.
Speaking of Twig, I want to give that an honorable mention. I read number 3 yesterday. Scotty and Kyle are doing a knockout job with that story. It's a lot of fun. Pick that one up as well. You won't be sad, that's for sure. So that's all we got for you today. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button. Leave some comments down there. Let us know what you'd like to pick up, and also check us out on our social medias. They're going to be down here at the bottom. And guys, we've hit 76 subscribers, and I have a flat brim Brothers Boyd New Era hat that I want to give away, along with one of our stickers and a random comic from my collection. When we hit that 100 subscribers, we will do a random draw of our commenters on that 100 subscriber video and pick somebody to get that. And wouldn't it be cool to actually get this? You can see on my head I'm wearing one of the Brothers Boyd hats. So yeah, so do that. Check us out. Run to your local comic shop. Pick up these 3 comics we talked about and some more. Keep you guys going. And until we see you in the next video, we will see you at the shop.